Hey Internet, my name is Sebi and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program on Wings. After I have recorded my rover missions, the new patch was released and now we have the intermediate patch or the asteroid redirect patch for Kerbal Space Program. And here the most obvious new thing is, let me zoom out a bit, that we now have some question marks orbiting around the Sun. We have a Class C, a medium unknown object, we have another Class C and another Class C, okay. And there's nothing. An E, huge. Okay, we have also a huge object. This is pretty interesting. And yeah, now we can investigate some asteroids, and I think this could be pretty much interesting and pretty much awesome. But on the other hand, because they are coming up some more objects. But on the other hand, I have to say that currently I don't want to do this, because if we are zooming out a little bit more, you see I have so many missions going on. And we have also somewhere our Moho probe, which will hopefully have a rendezvous with Eve, and then we have to launch also the rescue mission up to Eve when we have the appropriate launch window. I have my dual missions, I have my ELO mission, I have still the ongoing Duna mission, so I have so many things to do, and yeah, this is the most reason why I don't want to go for an asteroid right away, and instead I want to continue with my interplanetary missions and finish them, because I have so many great ideas what I want to do and what I will achieve, and to do so I like to have some more science and to also finish my missions I've desired and I've came up with. So this is the most next part I like to do, and later on when we finish most of our interplanetary missions we will start to go for some asteroids. But first of all, as I said, I want to go for the ongoing missions. But before we do this, I have also another reason why I don't want to go right away to an asteroid, and this is if we're going out to the tech tree, there are now some new items I will demonstrate, but the most obvious item is the advanced grabbing unit. This thing is able to grab the asteroids or grab anything else floating in space, and this is pretty amazing. But on the other hand, it costs some 160 science to be researched, and I have only 89 science. Well, on the other hand, I still could rendezvous with with an asteroid and visit the asteroid, but on the other hand, I can't dock to it, and this is the most reason why this is another reason why I don't want to go for it. And yeah, so I want to stick at first to my interplanetary missions, and now we have here some new parts. At first, we have the new solid rocket booster. It's pretty interesting. This has a lot of thrust, and we can research these things, or we have to research these things by clicking on them. And the skipper was moved down a tier earlier, so now we have the skipper very early. Let's research all the items that were moved. And in the heavier rocketry, the main engine, the mainsail is now earlier to be achieved. But on the other hand, there's also the LFB KR1X2. And if we compare these two engines, it has a maximum thrust of 2000 and the mainsail has a maximum thrust of 1500. And this thing has liquid fuel 2880, and okay, the orange fuel tank has the same amount of liquid fuel. So here I have orange tank with engines right away with a higher thrust, and here I have just orange tank and the mainsail. So it's pretty useless to build something with the mainsail and the orange tanks if I can use this engine right away. So I'm not quite sure. On the one hand, I think it's pretty amazing that there's a new powerful engine, and this keeps me away from building these huge booster stages with so many different stages and things going on, so I can only build some pretty small rockets. This is pretty amazing, but on the other hand, it makes some of the other items, of the old items, pretty useless, I think. And they have also introduced the huge ones. Look at this engine. It has a maximum thrust of 2500, and it's also a little bit bigger, so it's very huge engine. And we have here also an engine with a maximum thrust of 3200. This is really crazy. So let me just research these items. I think, well, if you remember last episode, I've prepared my Eve mission for the rescue mission. If I'm able to go up to Moho, if I'm able to go up with my Moho probe up to Eve, but I will use the old boosters I've created so far, and I will take the new engine and the new components for good use later on, so when we finish most of our interplanetary missions, so I don't want to construct a completely new booster. And there's also the launch escape system. This is pretty amazing. So it can help us to eject if we have a failure. I think it's pretty interesting, but on the other hand, I think it's more a cosmetic feature. So on the other hand, I like to add it to my rockets just in case. Okay, so I have unlocked all the new parts that are now available to the game, except for the advanced grabbing unit, where I need some more science. And then I think I can start going on for my other interplanetary missions. We have a lot of things to do. And here, have I missed something to demonstrate to you? No, I don't think so. I think I have demonstrated you all the important things about the new patch that came out, and yeah, now it's time to move on. And I think I'm not quite sure. I think the next thing is the upcoming burn with the research probe from Moho, the Moho Research Probe up to Eve, or maybe the launch up to Eve. I'm not sure what comes first. We will find out, or I will find out, and then I will bring you back in so you can see what is going on. So yeah, as usual, stay tuned. And we are back, and as you can see, I've set up a maneuver node. It was the most efficient one to fly up to Eve, so we can have an encounter with Eve in 39 days. And I think this is hopefully pretty good, and I hope this is hopefully a very efficient burn, because the main problem is I have literally no fuel left in this rocket, so I think I have to rely on my RCS. And yeah, so let me just aim for the maneuver node like this, and now, even if we are 1 hour out, I think I still can do the burn. Let's throttle up and see how far we come with the tiny amount of fuel left in this rocket. Wow, the nuclear rocket engine is really efficient. I haven't expected something like this. This is going better than I've anticipated. I can really do the burn with the fuel left. Okay, let's do a stop here. Do we have already the encounter? Let me just remove this one. Not yet. Let me. How do I do this? I think I will. Yes. Okay, let me RCS a bit. Separation. And yes, we have the encounter. Very good. Very good. So we are able to fly up to Eve. Eve. Where's Eve? There's Eve. Can I already adjust my encounter a bit? Whoa. What would I need to do to get this thing a little bit better? I think at first I need to... No. I don't want to have the... I want to have the blue line. Blue line, not the purple. Blue line, please. Where's the blue line? I want the blue line. So at least we can fly up to Eve. Now I have to make sure that I come very close and that I enter the atmosphere of Eve. But this is harder than I think, because currently I'm only getting the blue. I want the blue one, not the purple one. Help. Oh, come on, game. This is not fair. Give me this. Can I? I just want to have a maneuver node. I can have all the time the purple one, but I want the blue one. Go away. I want to... This is bad. I want to adjust my orbit, but it seems not to be working currently. Okay, this is so at least we are flying up to Eve. And this means we have, at the same time as we are now flying up to Eve, we have also the good launch window for Eve. So I think the next thing is I need to launch my Eve exploration mission I have already prepared. So we can fly up to Eve, and 53 days. And I'm still not getting any blue bubbles, blue markers. So I'm not sure how I can adjust my orbit so I can make sure that I'm coming right close to Eve and through the atmosphere, but I think I will figure this out. So, okay, we have still some fuel left. This is pretty amazing. And I will switch off RCS and turn the thing towards the sun so it's not running out of energy. Like this. Okay, now you can recharge. And yeah, we will meet again on the launch pad when we are launching our Eve mission. So, as usual, stay tuned! And welcome back to the launch pad with Handler Kerman. Handler was our brave Kerbonaut who tested the capability of my airplane. And now he's going up to Eve in 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Okay, as you can see, I'm still using the old orange tanks and the old mainsails, but these engines are still powerful enough to launch up to Eve and to launch up into space. And Handler is a little bit concerned, but he has an amazing job because he will now fly up to Eve. And around Eve, he will hopefully be able to rendezvous with the Moho Research Probe and collect all the science from the Moho Research Probe, store it in his capsule, do also some science around Eve with the Eve, with all the instruments he has available for doing some research around Eve. And then he will hopefully return back to Kerbin. So we have the return of the science from Moho and also the return of some science from Eve. And I think this is a really good mission. So Handler, you are doing an amazing job. And I hope you can, return safely back to Kerbin and bring us some sweet science back home. And at the same time as we are launching up to Eve, this is also the launch to the last celestial body in the Kerbal system. When we are finally arrive at Eve, I have launched up to every celestial body or up to every planet in the Kerbal system mission. Maybe a research mission just with a probe or a lander, so at least I have visited every planet, which is really cool. And when all or the majority of the missions are returned, we can start focusing on the asteroids and doing some stuff with the asteroids, as I said in the beginning of this episode. But at first I really like to focus on the other missions, so we can see all the different planets and have some science and have just some fun before we go with up to the next challenge. And right now we are doing our gravity turn. Handler Kerman is still a little bit excited and a little bit scared. And now he can ditch his booster stages and he can throttle up a bit more. And yeah, let's fly up to space. And I hope the thing won't get too noodly because it's pretty long. And the most concerning part is around here, because I don't have a flat probe body right now, which would be quite fitting. I can only use these Octo, Probo, Dym, Octo. And so yeah, this is the main problem with the spacecraft, and I hope we still are able to fly up into space without getting too wobbly and without getting too noodly. I think I can even throttle up a little bit more to fly up even higher or a little bit faster. And yeah, so Handler Kerman on its way up to space and also on its way up to Eve. And then I'm still having the challenge. I've tried to figure out with the Moho probe if I'm able to find a good spot for the maneuver node, but currently I wasn't able to set a maneuver node. So I think this is also a challenge, but not a challenge of the complexity or of my skills or anything, but just a challenge of getting rid or getting good use out of the controls available in this game. This is much more of a problem. And yeah, let's turn even more, and hopefully we are not getting too wobbly. But I think this could be, hopefully, be stable. Don't get too wobbly. Oh yeah, it's looking good. This is looking good. And we are accelerating nicely. This is very fine. And I'm doing this only with the mainsails, so imagine what could be done if I'm using these really powerful things. What was it, around 3,200 thrust or so? This is really crazy, and I'm just using the small mainsails. So yeah, and now I'm aiming for an altitude of 100 kilometers as usual, like here. And let's do the usual trick with a maneuver node. Set the maneuver node up there. We still have some fuel left. This is good, so hopefully we can take advantage of the last fuel to insert ourselves into an orbit. Oh no, Handler is now a little bit happier, or at least he's indifferent about the situation. I think this is good enough. I hope he will become more confident when he's flying up to Eve, or at least when he's out of, or when he's on a trajectory out of Kerbal's sphere of influence. Yeah, so, and another good thing is, down here you see this little X. If you are pressing on this, you can remove the maneuver node right away from the outside view, from the cinematic view, instead of going back to the maneuver or to the orbital map and removing it from there. So, to do this, I will do also my burn, so let's thrust forward a little bit to our apoapsis right now, and now we have the challenge to turn this slow thing down to the horizon. Let's turn it. I can still already remove the maneuver node. And now we are turning, and time to burn. And time to noodle. Okay, we are burning, and very careful. Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, we are going crazy. Hi. This is not what I wanted. I think the noodle problem has stricken our spacecraft. Okay, I think this is a good position. Goodbye, stage. Hope we can now gain control back for our spacecraft. Let's enable the other engine to finish our orbit insertion. And let's throttle up to raise our periapsis. This was a very dangerous situation. So I think the next important thing is I should unlock the flat probe bodies, so I'm not having the issue of starting to noodle around by my launch systems, which are able to return back to Kerbal and reduce the problem of space debris. Okay, and I think we can do the launch up to Eve right away in about 3 minutes or so. Let's check this out. Scroll, and set as target Eve. Okay, and let's see, maneuver node. Get this thing out. And there we come. And do we have somewhere an encounter with Eve? Let me see this. Currently not. Why don't we have an encounter with Eve? Do I need to adjust a little bit my trajectory? Or do I need to... No. I want to move this maneuver node around. Oh, there was something. There we have something. Come on. No. Yes. Maybe. Careful. Like here. Okay, what do I need to do? Where is it? A little bit faster or a little bit slower? What do I need to do? I think a little bit slower. Let's reduce it a bit. No? Was the wrong button. Maybe I need to... this way? Or the other way? The other way, maybe? all the time the same problem. Getting an encounter with their... No, that's getting more and more problematic. And if we're turning this thing a little bit around even more... Okay, as you can see, I have to play around again with the maneuver nodes, and I will bring you back as soon as I have a good launch window and a good trajectory, so yeah, stay tuned. I have done this. I have found an... Wait, I think... Do we have an encounter with something? No. Okay, very good. So I found a trajectory that will bring us up to Eve. So we have an Eve encounter in 31 days, and we are well prepared. So yeah, I'm looking really pretty much forward to this. And yeah, the only thing is now, on the one hand, we need to deploy our solar panels. Where's the other one? Over here, so that we are not running out of charge. And down here, over here, you can see the little tiny logo. This is pretty amazing that they now added some logos to the spacecraft. This is cool. Okay, apart from this, we are now prepared for our Eve burn. Handler is... well, he's not smiling, but he doesn't look scared anymore, so this is very good. And we can prepare our Eve burn. Let's do a little bit of a time warp, so we can... Oh, I can't do a faster time warp than this. This is sad. It says an estimated burn of 5 minutes. I'm not quite sure if this is really 5 minutes or if it takes a little bit less. We will find out. So I will start doing my burn about 2.5 minutes before I reach the maneuver node. And this should be pretty soon. Don't overshoot, please. And almost... no. Okay, and let's do the burn. Okay, the calculator was right. It takes about 4.5 or 5 minutes to do the whole burn. As usual, I will use most of the fuel of this engine, and then I will decouple from our upper launch stage, and so that I can return this thing back to Kerbal, and the other thing will fly out to Eve, hopefully, and have an encounter with Eve, and will hopefully have her... Oh no, Handler's smiling. Handler is now enjoying this. Okay, Handler likes to do interplanetary burns or burns in space, but he really don't like... he really doesn't like to be launched from the launch pad. Oh, speaking of the launch pad, it should be right down there. I think down there is the Kerbal Space Probe. This is pretty interesting. We are coming right across it as we are doing our insertion burn up to Eve. And yeah, I think this is a really cool thing, that we are now able to finish all the planets in the Kerbal system. And the only challenge, as I said, is now to have really the rendezvous between the different spacecrafts. And yeah, what else is going on? I think the next episode will be about leaving the surface of Dunar, maybe, and flying up to Ike. Yes, flying up to Ike. This is our next goal for the Dunar constellation, because I want to visit Ike. And this is a great challenge. And what else? I think we have to do pretty soon our burn for the DRESS research probe, that the DRESS research probe can do as correction burn up to DRESS. Yeah, I think this is pretty much what comes next. Okay, I need to do something like this and throttle up, and the nuclear rocket engine is even a little bit more powerful. And I've saved some of its fuel, which is really cool, because I was using most or a lot of the time my upper launch stage. And this is really helpful to save some fuel we can use for returning back from Eve, and to fly back home to Kerbal, and to finally land here, and to get some good use out of our science. And Handler is smiling. This is good. So yeah, while we are doing the burn, I will switch over to the... oh, there are some more things. Huge, medium, tiny, or medium, small, large, and what is this? Can I? No. Too many things going on. So yeah, Moho Probe has a little bit time until its arrival at Eve. Where is my dress probe? Jewel? Ilu? Dress Research Probe over here. I think this thing will have pretty soon its correction burn up to dress. Then I want to visit Ike, and later on, or pretty soon I hope, I have my arrival at Jewel, which would be pretty amazing to see Jewel. Yeah, and now we are leaving the sphere of influence of Kerbal. Or, well, our trajectory goes out of the sphere of influence of Kerbal. This is cool. And here goes my spacecraft. Handler is still indifferent. Oh, this view is great. This view over Kerbal is pretty amazing. And here, I have talked all over the burn. This is pretty interesting. I thought I have to cut you out and bring you back in, but speaking about the upcoming plans is also pretty interesting, I think, or I hope. So let's do the little tiny fraction of the burn from the orbital maps, so that we are sure that we have our encounter with Eve. And yes, there we have our encounter with Eve. This is pretty good. We have the Eve encounter. Let's bring it down to the desired 31 days. Like here, very good. Now can I... Okay, I can remove this. We have done this. We are on our trajectory up to Eve. I hope we don't have a floating point or error when we are leaving the sphere of influence of Kerbal. So maybe I should... No. I think I'm thrusting in Kerbal Space Program this time, that there's no floating point error. So yeah, so many things going on, so much things are happening in the next episodes. So I can only say thank you so much for watching this launch episode, this correction burn episode for the Moho Research Probe. I'm pretty impressed that the tiny amount of fuel was still enough to do the correction burn and made it possible to fly up to Eve. And here, next up, a lot of other things going on, and as I said, I want to visit all the different celestial bodies and all the planets, so a lot of things are happening. And here, a lot of exciting things, and thank you so much for watching again. If you like this video, please do the usual YouTube stuff like liking, commenting and subscribing if you haven't already. And I hope I see you again in the next episode when we do some more exciting things. Until then, my name is Abby. See you!